evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for our homeowner presentation for the curb appeal program. So I hope you all signed in at the front table. This is how we'll send you information. And we are recording the meeting tonight. We're going to post that online for people who couldn't attend.
Lo van a poner, el programa lo van a poner en línea para los que no pudieron hacer.
Okay, so tonight we'll start with a Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant overview, very brief. This is just the English one. Oh, same presentation.
Okay.
You're free to go.
Okay, I'm like,
This is our fourth presentation tonight, so we
Okay.
did contractors, English, contractors, Spanish, residents in Spanish now. This is residents in English.
okay,
So that's
let
what
me
we're
start.
covering.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the purpose of the curb appeal program, eligible properties, eligible enhancements, what the process looks like, what the selection is, applications, and answer any questions you have. So Choice Neighborhoods as a whole, if you received this mailing to come tonight, you probably received a lot of mailings about the program in general, or the grant in general. It's to really help people improve their lives, especially those who live in Southside Terrace. Replace distressed public housing, so replacing Southside Terrace, and then making improvements in the neighborhood, which is where the curb appeal program comes into play. So we have this overall grant I'm talking about is a $50 million grant, and 15% of that can be used on making neighborhood improvements. So that is where we're doing these 4 different programs. The first that we're rolling out is this curb appeal program. So the purpose is to improve the exterior of the most visible homes in the neighborhood. So we are doing this because we did a neighborhood survey in 2020 and found that only 39% of respondents thought it was a nice looking neighborhood, and 87% wanted improved and fixed up homes. So we're doing this curb appeal program. So the curb appeal program makes exterior improvements to owner-occupied homes along highly visible streets to improve neighborhood attractiveness and improve housing conditions in the neighborhood. We've done a really similar program up north, so this is our second Choice neighborhood in the city. With our first on North 30th Street, we did a similar program. So, we've worked out the kinks, and so it worked out really well up north, and we're excited to bring it here as well. So eligible properties are those that are owner-occupied homes along key streets, with on this map are shown in orange, or directly next to new housing development. So we have a blown-up map in the back, but essentially if you received a direct mailing telling you about the meeting tonight, you're an eligible location. So eligible enhancements, the big, huge thing here is they need to be visible from the street. So if it's not visible from the street, it's not eligible. But those eligible enhancements include exterior painting, siding repair and replacement. We had a really long debate when we say the most important thing is visible from the street. At one point, we were saying we can't do anything to the back. I'm like, but if we paint a house, we need to paint the whole house. And we went back and forth. We can't paint a whole house. So those are things that we can do behind a house if it's not visible, because it's ridiculous not to paint a whole house. So that is eligible. Tree planting, porch repair, replacement, or addition, and fence removal or repair. And if you do one of these key enhancements, then you will be eligible to do some others. So tree trimming or removal, porch and or walkway lighting, sidewalk or walkway concrete repair replacement, and retaining wall repair if it is adjacent to a public sidewalk. So this is what the process looks like, and we also have a really more detailed flow chart and a handout in the back, but this is kind of a simplified version of the process. So turn in applications by April 8th. Then we have a selection committee will review and prioritize applications. So every application we receive that's an eligible location will be prioritized, okay? So then a construction specialist, who is Zach standing in the back there, will walk through the home with you and talk about a scope of work, and we'll put that project out for bid. So as the applicants will approve that scope of work. The scope of work is advertised, it's put out for bid, and then the contract is awarded to the lowest and best bidder. So we just had 2 contractor meetings. Contractors need to be on a pre-approved list, so we had a meeting with contractors previously, And this is really to make sure they're licensed, insured. So if you as an applicant, a homeowner can, are working with contractors we're comfortable with, providing to you as a homeowner. So the homeowner agreement is signed, that's between the homeowner and the city of Omaha. And then a rehabilitation contract is signed with the homeowner and the contractor. So construction occurs, which will be monitored by our construction specialist. Again, we're trying to provide that assistance to homeowners working with a contractor and making that an easier process. And then once construction is concluded, the homeowner agrees that everything is done well, the city will directly pay the contractor. So that selection committee will look at 2 criteria. The first is location. So how visible is the home in the neighborhood, right? So that's the first one. The second is the impact those improvements will make towards neighborhood beautification. So how impactful are those improvements you're asking for? So then all applications will be notified as to how they are prioritized on that list. And we'll have approximately 5 projects going on at the same time. So that selection committee will be comprised of residents of Southside Terrace, residents of the neighborhood, a representative from the city of Omaha, a representative from the Omaha Housing Authority, and a representative from Canopy South. Those are our grant partners, so that's why they have representation on that selection committee. And our applications are here, we have them available tonight. You can do them online, you can do them paper and send in the paper. You can fill out the paper, take a picture and email it to us. We're just trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody. Just make sure they're turned in by April 8th. Then we'll get that selection committee going and reviewing those applications so they can get prioritized and we can start working on them. So if you have questions, you can ask here tonight now or email neighborhoods@cityofomaha.org. So, any questions? Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the timeline? So we turn the applications in on the 8th.
Yeah.
What is the timeline for someone to contact us to come out and look at our home?
Yeah.
Or
We'll send out a letter notifying you of that priority list. If you're one of those top 5-ish, then we'll be reaching out to make an appointment with you to come out to your home and talk about the scope of work, okay? And then after that, the work is bid. So we would like to get quite a few of these done this summer.
Okay.
We'll just keep working down the list. So if we can't get to it this summer, construction season isn't good over the winter, we'll continue it on next spring.
Okay.
So like I said, we want to get as many rolling out. It also depends on contractor capacity. So, how many contractors are bidding on this and making sure we have enough contractors to work on these projects too.
Okay.
So there's a lot of variables.
Okay, so here it says that the cap is 25,000.
Yeah.
Let's say that we have a larger house and the cost to do siding would be 27. Do we have the ability to pick up and just pay the extra?
Yes. So actually, this very first home on the presentation, so this is one of my favorite examples. So this was actually in our North 30th CNI area. The before picture of this is really something because this swooped right here, and I had to call her and say that she's ineligible because it's a structural issue. If there are structural issues, we're not able to touch those because we have limited funds and we can't address huge issues like that. So I had to call her and say, I'm so sorry, you're not eligible because it's a structural issue. And she said, I'm already having that work done. And I said, yes. So she paid for the structural elements, and then we could come in with the curb appeal grant and do like the painting and things like that. So this house transformed more than a lot of others because the homeowner contributed as well. Yeah, so that's definitely an option. Yeah, and you can do it with a different contractor or work separately with the one the city would be working with. So it's all kind of, we'll get figured out between Zach, contractor, and homeowner. Yeah.
Okay, let's say that the owner is a contractor. Would there be a situation where like the homeowner does the labor for free if you guys just cover the material so that more things could be done?
I'm gonna look at Lewis or Alyssa with that question.
We haven't encountered
Yeah,
anything like that.
We haven't done self-performing projects. So we can look into that.
we can look into it. I mean, we would need to go through a competitive bidding process, but we'll see if there's any, this is HUD funds, so they're federal funds. We don't know if they would have any restrictions on that. So it's something it sounds like we need to look into.
And then to be able to do something from tier 1 and tier 2 together, is it max 25?
Everything is max 25, and that doesn't guarantee 25 for every home. It's only things that are eligible up to 25.
Okay.
Yeah. What other questions? Thanks for coming. Don't feel obligated to say.
No?
Yeah.
One more, this doesn't affect our taxes, I mean, does it?
Well, I mean, it may, to be honest, it might, because the assessor may say the value of the home has gone up because improvements have been made.
Okay.
So we haven't directly followed up with anyone else who's gone through the program to see how it's impacted them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward for construction to start.
Oh, great. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate the help.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll stick around if you have any other questions. Otherwise, look forward to seeing applications and, yeah, I think it's a good program. So, thank you all for coming.